Hey guys, can you hear me? Can someone please drop a comment? Am I audible? Screen is visible? Everything is fine? Mr. Programmer, yes. Okay, good. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes, then maybe we'll start continuing. So if you already know, we are building this news application. So we'll continue from where we left in our previous live stream. So I'll pull up my physical device, and here is the app which we are building. All right. So we have this detail page. If you remember in previous video, we were implementing this. So on click of detail page, we were pulling up the web view. It is not loading here. What happened? Oh, it took some time. So we are opening the news details in a web view with this close button. If we click on it, then it is going to get closed. If we open up some other, it is going to open up again a web view with the details of the URL of that news source. But we saw it had some headers, some tab bar of this application or this website. So for example, this one, now we can see this tab bar kind of structure. So right now it is a bit confusing. Are these these tabs are not from our application, this is from this the star website. Okay, so user can get confused. So for this, what we will do, we will change the approach. We will not open the details of a news in a web view. Instead, we are going to create a detail page where we are going to have the information of this news. That thing we are going to do. Let's try to wait for a couple of more minutes. Maybe some people join and then we'll start. Mm, we have news detail page, news detail view model, main page. Main page is fine. So news details, view model, news details page. We are going to work on these two pages only, I guess. And then the detail model of that is going to be inside this. Main page view model, we have news DTO. So this is our final output, the class. So inside this, in this class, if we see, we have title, we have description, we have content, publish date, image URL, source name. So we have a lot of information actually. Language, country, category, sentiment, a lot of things. So we can maybe use all this information to design our news details page. Okay, so right now what we are doing from our home page, the main page, we are actually passing, if we go to our view model, main page view model, from here, when we say go to details page, we are just passing a source URL. But now we don't need just source URL, we need the entire information of that, the news. So instead of passing the source URL, I'm going to comment this out for your reference, paste it, and instead of doing this thing, we'll get the entire news DTO object here. News, and then we are going to pass this news object here. Okay, and then on details page, we are going to change this. Right now, we just have this, the web view logic. We are going to change this. Maybe I should rename these, right? So that we can leave it like this, or maybe let's modify it entirely, because the web view approach, we are not using that approach, so there's no point of having it. So we'll go to the news details view model first. Here we are going to have a property, observable property, with the news DTO type. So news DTO, and here we are going to say just news. This is going to be an observable property. Let's have a default value so that our UI is fine. After that, now we don't need this source URL, so we can simply get rid of this, or maybe I can comment this out. Then just comment this out, source URL, and here now we'll say news and news. We'll get this news as a parameter. Then we'll go to main page view model. From here we will pass the news as a parameter now. All right, so we have this news. Now news details page, we are going to have this news property, and we will come on this XAML now, and we'll start designing it. So we'll comment everything out, whatever we have so far. So let's comment everything. This is the previous old version. Now here we are going to have a grid. Now let's see what do we need. First thing we'll do, on the very top, we are going to have our details of the news. So for that, what we can do is, first let's run it, and we'll see the design, and we'll write our code. So we'll see how it looks in real time. It is almost there. Let me have it this side. Hmm. I hope you can see this. Yes. Okay. So let's tap on any of the news. I'm just tapping on it. Nothing happens. There is some problem. Parameter cannot be of type system.string as the command type requires. Yes. The problem is we changed the type on our main page view model here, but we didn't change it in our main page.xaml. So let's change it in main page.xaml as well. Right now, what we are doing, we are passing the command parameter as link. So this should be, let me duplicate this line as well. Comment the first one. Here we'll say dot, which represents the current object. Inside this collection view, the current object is news DTU. So this single object, we are passing this. Let's run it. The solution explorer, it went that side again. Okay. Loading. All right. Tap on it. And we are here. This is our detail page, news details page. Now, let's have a label first. So we'll say text binding. What was the title? It was title only. Oh, news.title. News.title. If we do this, we should see the title. Yes, it is here. Let's have some padding on the page label. So we'll say padding 15. All right. Now this is our title. So let's give it a bit styling. So we'll say font size 18 maybe. Then let's say font attributes bold. All right. After this, maybe we are going to have an HR tag. We can have it simple line, or maybe we can directly have image, or maybe we can have image before this. Yeah, let's have image first. So we'll say image source, and here we are going to say binding news dot, we have image URL. Is it coming? No, it didn't come. So on this grid, we have, if the image is not there, we were using image URL or source icon. Now we can see this. So now on this grid, let's do this. Let's define our row definitions. First, we are going to have our image. So let's have some maybe 250 for image. We'll see if we want to change it. Then let's have auto for the title. So the image, we'll say grid.row0, and for the title we are going to say grid.row1. Save it. Then let's have some row spacing here. So we'll say row spacing of 5. Save it. Now 18 is a lot. Let's make it 16. Okay, save it. And after this, what else we have? We can show the category and publish date, right? So maybe we can have those things before this this label. So let's have one more auto here. I'm just trying different things. I have no idea what I am designing. Hi, you are great. Thank you. All right. So after image, let's have one, we can have a grid or horizontal stack layout, or we can have a flex layout. I want to show the category, name of category, and maybe publish date. Or yeah, let's try these things. So let's have a grid where we'll say grid.row1, and column definitions. To define the column inside this, we'll have auto, star, and auto, so that we can have spacing in between. Then the first column, let's have the source. So we'll say label text binding news dot source name. If we do this, we should see this something here. Let's make it the heading as 2. So this is from Google News. Then let's duplicate this, and second thing we'll do, we have pub date, that is published date. Let's move it to the right. So we'll say on the second grid label, we'll say grid dot column 1, and the first one, which is default, we'll say grid dot column 0. So this is 0, this is not 1, we'll say 2. So the 1 is for this star, which we want the space here. You can format this one if you want to. On this published date, we can simply have the string format. So it's up to you how you want to show the date here. For example, you can say 0 and then dd, or this approach which we follow in India, or maybe the dd y. So it's up to you how you want to do this. It is totally up to you. Let's remove this. It is not updating. Maybe we need to refresh, but this is how you can set the string format. Is this published date is already in string format. This is not a date. So if you want to reformat it, you can maybe convert this to date and then reformat. So the best approach would be to have some computed property here, the way we have this image URL or source icon. So you can have your own logic there. Bro, can you make a video on how to make an installer for .NET MAUI with SQLite DB? So when I put it on our web, it can be installed by other user. Oh, so you mean for Windows? Because you can do that for Windows and you can do that for Android. You can make an APK file, and for Windows also you can do that. Yeah, I can try. I can show you how you can do that. Or maybe direct publishing should work fine. You can try publishing the project for the Windows target, and let's see what you got to get there. Maybe exe file, MSI file. Try that, or maybe I can try. Okay, so we have these things. String format have no effect here. Amir Khan, amazing. Thank you. Alright, so we have this. Let's have some light background and padding and all. Background, let's say Alice blue, how it looks. Nope. Let's try some other antique white. Yeah, this is fine. Let's have some padding here. So we'll say on this label only I'm having these. So left, right, let's say 10, and top, bottom, let's say 4. Okay, so it shows this. If you want to have rounded corner, then you can simply surround this label, wrap this in a border. That is also an option if you want to. But let's leave it like this only, because we don't have corner radius on label. But this is fine. After that, we have this date. If you want to, we can have something, some similar kind of thing, some background color and padding on this as well. That's it. So background color and padding. Save. And this color is fine. If you're not happy with this, you can try some other color. These colors are not that good, but at least we have some different design. Then we have this title. After that, we can have our entire content of this news. Okay, so after this auto, let's have one more auto, or maybe we can have star. That means whatever remaining space you have, just have all that space here. So for this, again, we are going to have a label with grid.row3, and here we are going to have a text binding. We have news.description. Let's see what we have here. So we have this description. We have one more, right? That content. What we have in content? Only available in paid plans. Okay, this is something different. So description is fine, that means. So we have this description. And what else we have? We had categories as well, right? We have keywords, link, title, article, ID, title. We are using link. We know this link is the actual source URL of this. So we can have it here somewhere, and we can maybe on tap of it, we can redirect user to browser. We can launch that URL. So instead of opening it inside a web view in our application, we can simply open up the default browser of the application. That is also an option. Okay, we'll do that. Then we have keywords. What is creator? I don't know. What is keywords? I don't know. Let's try. So after star, let's have one more auto here, and then we'll have a label with the text. Let's see what we have for all those things. Binding, we have keywords, news dot keywords. So what we have in keywords? Nothing. Creator, nothing. And what else we have? Keywords, description we already saw, content is in paid plan, published date we already used. This must be some other format of it. Source ID, source name. Source name is this, which we already showing here. Source priority, source URL, source icon, which we are already using with this thing here. We can have this source icon here as well with the source name. Then we have language, country, category. So first let's have language. If we do this, we can see the English here. Grid dot row 4. So we'll have this English here, and then category is a collection. Okay, we'll see what we have in category. After that, country is also a collection. Image, URL, keywords, language, link, sentiment, source name, URL, title. Do we have some video here? No, that is null. Okay, that means we don't have much information in this free plan, free API which we are using. So I think we should be good. We just need to add some more information here. So here we have this Google News, which is the name of the source. Here we can use the source icon. So instead of directly having this label, now we can have a horizontal stack layout here. So now this grid dot column, we can have this on this horizontal stack layout. Same thing, we can have this background color and padding on this horizontal stack layout. So same, before this label, we can have an image with the source of binding news dot source icon. If we do this, we should see the source icon. We just need to make it small. So let's say height request of 20. We can see this here. Let's have some spacing in here. So on this horizontal stack layout, we can set a spacing of, let's say, 5. So we have this spacing now. Save it, and now we are good. We have this 10 padding from left and right. Let's have it 5. And with this, we are good. We can see this thing. Now we can go back using this. Let's try some other. We can see the information here like this. Go back. So we can see all the information, right? Let's move this section to the center of the screen here. And we have categories and country and location, right? So maybe, I don't know what we have in category and country, but because this is a list of string, we can't directly show it. Technically, we can show using maybe some bindable layout. We can do that, or maybe we can use collection view. But because this is going to be some hard coded, not hard coded, but small number of items here, 2 or 3 items. We can try that, or maybe we can simply show these comma separated and we can create helper properties here. So let's try creating helper properties, computed properties here. So we'll say prop string categories, and here we'll say category dot, this is that category. So here we can simply have a condition first. If category dot count is greater than 0, and what happened here, category dot count is greater than 0, then what we'll do, we are simply going to say string dot join, we'll say category, separator is going to be comma and space, and we'll have category here. If that is not the case, that means category count is 0. So now it's up to you. If you want to show something, you can have that, maybe some default value and a not applicable, or you can just leave it empty like this. We'll do the same thing for our countries. So countries, country.count, and here also we can have country with comma separated values. So save it, and now we can go back to our XAML and we can add those two things. Let's run the app again. And we'll add those somewhere after this thing. Why it is coming in black? Oh, we changed the background color of the splash screen in previous live stream, if I remember it correctly. Okay, let's open it. On this detail page, after description, we can have label grid.row4, and let's try text binding news.categories. If we do this, we should see categories just education here, and what else we had countries. So countries is India. Red Eye developers, hi, hello. So we have India, country and category. So we can maybe show these things here or maybe before this thing. It's up to you. You can design it in a number of ways or whatever design you want. I'm not very good with this thing. I need to have some inspiration from somewhere. I need to see some design, then maybe with hit and try. That's how I do the designing. And yeah, on the main grid, let's have some more spacing first. We'll have 15, so we can have this more space here. We have heading, we have this description, we have this India, which is the location, the countries. So here let's have a vertical stack layout. We'll say grid.row4, and for all these things we have location, the country, we have category, and we have language, right? So language we can see here, but still let's show it here. So inside this vertical stack layout, we'll have a horizontal stack layout with a spacing of, let's say, 5. We are going to have 2 items. First, label text, let's say language. Then we are going to have one more label with the text. I have a small doubt. It is possible to animate shell bottom tab bar. The default animation is there. I saw someone or somewhere they had some small animation in the bottom tab bar, but I am sure we can't directly have animation from direct shell. We need to go to the platform specific code, and that also I'm not very sure that we can have there. But what I remember, maybe there I saw something somewhere. I don't remember exactly, but maybe, but not a proper animation the way you can maybe have with Flutter, or I'm not sure if in React Native also we have that. But Flutter we can do a lot of animation stuff for bottom tab bar as well. So can't say anything right now. Mhm. No idea. Maybe I'll try and then only I can say. Or you can play around with the platform specific code. Okay, so language, we have binding, news dot language. If we do this, we should see something. Language English, yes. Okay. So after that, we can simply copy this horizontal stack layout and paste it 2 more times. Second thing, we can have the categories, Then lastly, we can have countries. Okay, so we have these things here. It is not very good looking, but at least it is working. We can play around with different things. You need to do a lot of hit and try kind of things to make it look good, but for us, the functionality, it is working. Next thing, we need to have some back button or cancel buttons. So if you want to have back button, right now we are opening it in this shell presentation mode modal animated. We can have, okay, I also saw doc not have any clue for animation. Now I make tab bar in XAML and animating entire tab bar up and down side. How are you animating the entire tab bar? What do you mean by animating entire tab bar up and down side? Yeah, the documentation, it does not have much information about how to customize shell and all. Okay, let's open some other. We have these. So yeah, what I was saying, if you want to have back button, we need to change the shell presentation mode to some different mode, or we can simply remove it. Right now we are having it as modal, so this is actually coming from bottom to the top. So in this case we can have the similar cancel or cross button the way we had in the previous version with the web view. So it's up to you how you want to do it. If you want to have this button, let's copy this button, let's have it in our application, in our top section. We have this here, we just need to move it to the very end. Right now it is using, if we not specify any grid or column, it automatically takes the grid column 0 and row 0. So this is coming in the row 0 section. Okay, so we want to have it at the very bottom on top of everything. So what we can do, whatever rows we have, we are simply going to use the row span for all those rows. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So on this button, we can simply say grid dot row span 5, and now it is here at the very end where we want it to be. All right. For this image, let's have some background color, some light background color. Right now it does not look good. Maybe the image is not that big, that's why. So instead of image, let's have a simple border here with grid dot row 0 with some background color, some light color, Alice blue. Then let's have that image. So you see, this is the entire border section. On this border, we have the padding 15 from on the page, right? Let's not have the padding here. It is touching left and right corners. On this border, let's have stroke thickness as 0. Okay. Then on this board, we have this Alice blue, right? Let's have some other color. As your, what is this color? I can't see any color here. Yeah, this is some very light blue kind of color. Beige. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. So we can see this. Now let's do this on this image grid.row0. Now it has no effect, so we can get rid of this. We'll say aspect, and then we can try aspect fill. It is going to fill entire thing. We have this. It is coming from here, and I guess we are good. After this image, whatever content we have, we are going to have padding on that content. So now let's change the approach a bit. On the main root level grid, we are going to have two rows. One is for this image and the second row for other entire content. Like code properly work on emulator, but if I try to real device, then this exception occurred, but app works perfectly. Why my chat is deleted? I have no idea why it is getting deleted. What error are you getting? Are you pasting something? Because I didn't set anything in the chat. Reaction, timesheet, pop out, timestamp, moderate activity. I don't see any settings or something which is causing the chat to be deleted. Everything is fine. There is no setting or something like that which might be causing it. Try again, maybe, right? If pasting is not working, then you can just give me the just chat the exception message, then maybe I can try. Oh, how to have that on top of everything, that pop out chat. I'm very bad at all these things. I need to learn all these things, how to set and all. Okay. Okay, we are here. So I was saying one row for the image and the second row for other all other things. So on that second row we can have a padding. Let's try this. So this first row definition, we are going to change it. So first one 250 for this image. Second one we'll say star, and then we will get rid of everything else. Okay, row spacing 15. Let's have maybe 5. So first border. After that, whatever content we had, we are going to have that entire thing in a grid again. We'll not have button inside that. Button we'll have outside in the main grid only, with the row definition as 2, because now sorry, row span as 2, because now the main grid has only 2 rows. So grid grid dot row for the parent, it is 2, and then inside this grid we are going to have grid dot row, just row definition. We'll say, let's say auto for the first one, star for the second thing, and auto for the last thing. So we'll have grid dot row 0 for the first these two things. Then we are going to have grid dot row 1 for the title, and then we are going to have grid dot row 2 for the description. And let's have one more. No, it should be auto and auto. So for title all auto, then star for the content, and then again a auto for this language and all. So grid 2 and then grid dot row 3. On this grid we are going to have a padding of 15. So from all sides, but I don't want this padding to be applied on the top section. So from the top, so I'll say, let's say from left 10, from top 0, from right 10, and from bottom 10. Okay. And then inside this grid, we'll have some row spacing of, let's say, 10 for these spacings. With this, if we save everything, and we should be good. Why my chat is deleted? I think bro sent the entire ex error in chat. Lol in YT command have limit 4 characters. You have any idea about this error? What is the error? Yeah, no one can help you out without looking at the error itself. Okay, we have this thing here. Then if I press this, it is getting closed. These are repeating. Yes, but from different news sources. Let's try. We should have some other thing to maybe refetch the data. Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's have pull to refresh functionality. If we do pull to refresh, then it is going to refresh this data. That means right now what is happening when we are coming to the app, it make API call, it gets the data, and the data remains in the app in this view model for the entire life cycle of the app. So we'll leave it like this, but we will have a pull to refresh functionality as well. If we do explicit pull to refresh, then it is going to make another API call to fetch the next set of data. Let's do this. No bro, again I sent it, I typed it, but I don't know why it is getting deleted. Does that have some link, some URL? Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe the URLs are not allowed in the chat. I'm not sure. Try just copying a small text and just pasting it. Yeah, so what was I saying? I was saying that let's have pull to refresh to fetch the next set of data. Yeah, it's a good idea. So for this, what we need to do, we'll go back to our main page. Like file not found for each initialized component of XAML CS file for every file in my project. It is strange. It should have been with the in command compile time only, build time. You said emulator, it is working. If I try real device, then this exception occurs. Can you add some screenshot in the chat? I have no idea. Do we have some chat option, the attaching image or adding files in the chat? Okay, so where were we? Pull to refresh. Yes. So what we'll do in our view model, main page view model, let's have one more property. So we'll say private bool is refreshing. This is going to be an observable property. Save it. And then let's stop the running build. We'll go to our main page.xaml. Here we have this collection view and grid, this entire thing. So what we can do, we can wrap everything inside a refresh view. Okay, save it. And on refresh view, we can have a is refreshing property set to binding is refreshing. So how this works? What happened? Yeah. So how this works, refresh view automatically have the pull to refresh functionality. If we pull from top, it is going to set this property to true, but it will not set it to false because it does not know, refresh view does not know when the refreshing operation completes. So we need to explicitly set it false when we are done with the refreshing. So it will simply set this flag to true, and then it is going to call something for us. So here we can have a command with binding. Do we have some command in our view model? So here we have this fetch news async. Right now this is just a method, simple method. Let's have one command. We can change this also as a command if we want to. Right now from where we are calling? Are we calling it from here? No, from the code behind maybe. Let's leave it like this. We'll have simply one more command here. So we'll say private async task. We'll say refresh news async. From here we are going to call this thing, or we can simply extract out this logic. If everything is there, let's call this method. But when we are doing this pull to refresh, we don't want to set this is busy to true. Technically we can leave this, but let's not have this if we are doing pull to refresh, because when we do that, then there is activity indicator there which indicates the refreshing. So there is no point of showing two activity indicators, but it's totally up to you. If you want to, you can leave it. Here what I'll do, I'll have simply an optional parameter in this fetch news async. We'll say bool use is busy, and the default value will say true, so that we don't need to change anything in the existing implementation. What we'll do, we'll simply say await fetch news async here, and after this we'll say use is busy to false. We don't want you to use this flag. So when this flag is false, then we will not use is busy. If that flag is true, then only we'll say use is busy, then set it true. And the same thing we'll do in the finally block. Here, if is busy, use is busy is true, then only we are going to set it false. If not, we'll leave it. Save everything. Now let's add a relay command to make it as a command. Right now this is a simple method. Now let's go back to our main page .xaml. Initialize not found means nothing. You have error something else. Wait. The file not found. No, I think what file is missing? Assets. Battery saver is on. Initialize not found means nothing. You have error something else. If you are using git, look for history. You did something wrong. Yeah, that might be the case for each and every XAML CS file, but after doing continue app works perfectly. Is it error or warning, or what is it? For each and every XAML CS file, but after doing continue app works fine. It works because Studio runs previous build, not your code. Yes. But how it works perfectly in emulator? What file is missing? Use cursor ID, ask AI what's wrong in my project, it will solve it. Yeah, if you have this, if you can maybe put it somewhere on GitHub, maybe you can share the link. I can try that out. I can help you out. Or maybe you can show, you can capture the screenshots and you can come to the Discord and share your screenshots there. Then maybe we can see. That is also an option. All right, so we have refresh view in command binding. Now we have this refresh. It should come, but it is not coming. Why? Relay command refresh news async. Save it. Now if we do, we see refresh news command here. All right, so it will set the is refreshing true. It will call this refresh news command. When this operation is successful, then we need to explicitly set the is refreshing to false. So we'll set is refreshing to false after this thing. What this does, fetch news async, it is going to simply add the news to this thing, but this is not what we want when we are saying refresh. So with this refresh, what it will do, it will simply come here and it will keep on adding the items. So if we have 10 items in the first run, if we use pull to refresh, it is going to add 10 more items at the end of that collection view. But that is not what we want, because we are using pull to refresh. That means we are resetting the entire collection. So what we'll do in the fetch news async, before this for each, we are going to say news dot clear. We will clear the observable collection. So all the items which we had earlier, we are going to clear those out, and then we are going to add the new items into that observable collection. Okay, so looks like we are good. Let's save it, run it. We should have that pull to refresh functionality now. If it is assets, you need to set the build action. Do you use any AI IDE, Abhay? I used Cursor a couple of months ago for some next and view and for some simple HTML. I have not used it for any Blazor or .NET stuff. I saw Milan to use it with .NET, but I have not tried it yet. I use Chat GPT etc. for Blazor. I tried DeepSeek, but most of the time they are not up to date. So no matter how hard or how you will ask ChatGPT or DeepSeek to do something for Blazor, static SSR and all, it will always going to give you the Blazor server stuff underscore host.cs HTML and all. So they are not up to date, and sometimes they try to do something, they hallucinate. You will keep on doing that, they'll say, oh, apologies for this thing, let me fix this, and they will again give you the same code. Sometimes what happens, it takes a lot of time because we just stuck in a loop. We'll say, hey, it is still not working, try it. It will say, okay, let me try a different approach, and it will again going to do the same thing. So I use very less for coding. For almost you can say I don't use it, but for other stuff, some brainstorming, trying to understand some concept or some other thing, some idea validation and different, some structure planning and all, not much. Yeah, Cursor, a good AI IDE. Guy, I just want to ask everyone in the chat and Abhay also, is Maui really production ready? Because I am facing lots of trouble to build project from scratch. There are a lot. This is not Maui issue, we could say. Maui is not perfect, that we can say for sure, but there are a lot of apps, lots of apps out there in production using .NET Maui XAML, Blazor Hybrid for Android, iOS, Windows. So people are using it. So then maybe it will depend on what app you are building. If you are, let's say, building some game, some high performance application, some application which has a lot of animation related stuff, as Red Eye asked. So maybe for those kind of things, it might not be the good fit. But if you are familiar with .NET, it is the best what you can do. You can quickly roll out an application. So you remember the travel expense manager app that we built? It was, I built it very quickly and I made an advanced version of that. I am just trying to push that on Play Store. I have not done that for myself yet. I have been building apps, and then someone else from the client company, they are doing it and all. But this time I tried to do this. So the advanced version, I spent I think 3 or 4 days after work to add a lot of functionality. So for example, in that application, I added the offline functionality, I added SQLite, I added a lot of different things. Right now that app is using this is server first, but has everything on the client side synced. If there is no internet, then also you can use that and do a lot of other stuff. And with .NET Core API, that as well. So if you say for simple app, that is not a big app, but final output, the final result, that is very good. That is smooth. Everything works fine. So with your case, maybe there is something which is not right from your side. You're missing something, or maybe you did something in some wrong way. That might be the case. If it is asset, do you use any AI ID build project from scratch? So when you say that you are having a lot of issues, so if you are following my channel, we have built a lot of applications, right? In last couple of years, we have built a lot of applications using Blazor Hybrid, in .NET MAUI using .NET MAUI XAML, completely offline apps we have built apps with .NET Core API. Right now for this news application, we are using totally third party API. So a lot of different kind of things we have used. Flyout, we have used bottom tab bars, so a lot of different things, and all these things work. Pet adoption app, if you remember, it was a big app. It had multiple screens, it had tab bar, it had signal R, and a lot of different things, and it worked on both the platforms, Android and iOS. So we can say it works. I'm using JetBrains Rider, that is so good in UI and UX. I have heard a lot about it. I have never used JetBrains, so but everyone praises it, so maybe it's very good. How to do infinite scroll items with pagination. So I already have a video for this on my channel. So if you go there on my channel, I have that in videos. This one, .NET MAUI collection view infinite scrolling. So you can check this out. For .NET Android app MAUI and Uno platform. Do we call it Uno or Uno? I have not used Uno platform. I have not used Avalonia platform. I just use Maui only. So I don't know if they are good or not, but they don't have uh big bigger community, right? Although Maui also does not have that big community, but as compared to Uno and Avalonia, Maui has a big community. For Windows, Avalonia is best. For desktop, yeah, I have heard it. Maui is good enough. Yes. Uno platform is also good, have cross-platform support for Android, iOS, Windows, desktop, web, Linux. It is good, but I don't know because if we are targeting all the platforms, there might be some workarounds or maybe some performance hits if we are targeting the same code base, same UI for all the platforms. Maybe the translation layer or maybe something like that, because when you are making your application too generic, which is doing a lot of things, then maybe you might suffer some performance related stuff. I don't know, maybe that is just an assumption. Maybe they did good or maybe great there to support all these platforms. I have no idea. Just give me advice like an older brother. I am working with Maui, building iOS Android app. Should I continue in this technology again? It totally depends what app you are building. Can you chat about your app, the simple one liner, or maybe what use case you have? Because there, as I already mentioned, there are a lot of app developers, there are a lot of apps out there on App Store, on Play Store, on Microsoft Store. There might be on Mac App Store as well, and there might be a lot of applications which are not on the App Store and Play Store, but though those apps are there out there on the devices. We can directly create APK files and then distribute it ad hoc using simple sharing. Just download it and share it. Okay, thanks. Homendra, if you want to code with C Sharp 100%, if else Flutter and Jetpack. So yeah, that's the thing. If you are already proficient in C Sharp, then there is no point of going to Flutter route. So Flutter and Jetpack. You said Jetpack is for UI designing for Android. Am I right? Red Eye developer. Because in Flutter we use Dart, right? Flutter is for UI, Dart is for the code, and UI we use the code related UI. The way we can do in C Sharp, we can write our C Sharp, we can generate or develop our UI using C Sharp the same way we do Dart in Flutter. But Jetpack is Jetpack or Jetpack Compose, I think the full name. This is for UI, the new way of doing Android UI. But if you are good with C Sharp, then stick to .NET MAUI. Okay, so where were we? We were here on the refresh. Let's try that now. Let's run. No, I am working for an organization. I joined as a freshman for the past 2 months. I am working with Maui, like they are shifting technology Flutter to Maui for mobile apps. So maybe they're shifting because they have uh, .NET tech stack guys, right? Maybe that's why they are moving to Maui. From job perspective, I guess Flutter will have more jobs than Maui. That I think because Flutter is more popular than Maui. But the good thing with Maui is if you just want to target mobile apps, then you can maybe choose Flutter or React Native or some other thing. But if you want to expand your knowledge beyond the mobile application development, maybe you want to target desktop, web, and general C sharp backend, all these things, then if you're doing Maui, the C sharp backend, you can simply reuse your C sharp knowledge for all other stuff for .NET Core backend, console apps, background workers, web apps, web APIs, all those things. I don't like Dart language. Jetpack was so good. Kotlin language, super fun language. Yeah, the Kotlin is fun. I have heard it. I have not used it. So they have that Kotlin multi-platform, something like that also, right? But I was in assumption that using that you can simply build the cross-platform application using single code base. You can have everything, but that is not what it is, because recently I found out that using Kotlin multi-platform, you can just share just the code, not the UI. You need to design two different UIs, one for Android separately, and for iOS, you need to design your application separately. Then you can just reuse the code behind the code logic only. But with Maui, that is not the case. You can actually reuse everything. With React Native, that is not the case for Flutter. So for all other hybrid or cross-platform app frameworks, you can actually reuse both UI and the code behind and logic, everything. I don't know why they choose this strange approach with Kotlin multi-platform. I don't like Dart language. Yeah, so as I already mentioned in one of our previous live stream, I have used Dart for I think for 1 or 2 months. I don't actually remember if I liked it or not because it's been a while. It's been around 5 to 6 years now. I don't remember. The only thing I remember, we can chain the methods there. Okay, so we are here. Let's go to the detail page. We have some problem. System reflection target invocation exception has been thrown by the target of an invocation. Something is not right. Let's see what it is. Let's stop and let's see if we can see something in output. System.reflection target invocation exception. Let's try to run it again. We'll see where exactly, because right now I clicked on that single news item. It threw this error. This time let's try to do pull to refresh first, because that is what we implemented. We have this thing. It is making call, and we have different. Oh, we don't have different data, or we have Gulf Times, full UK. Maybe we are getting the same data because it is I'm making calls too quickly, but it should change because that is calling that method and everything is happening the way it should happen. So I think we are good, but when we are trying to go to the detail page, then we are getting that problem, right? Let's first try to put a breakpoint here. I'll simply tap on this Yahoo News. I'm tapping it, came here. Let's continue. Oh, maybe something is not right in the model where we are doing this thing. Maybe category or country is null for those. It is not showing the actual code, but let's try this. So if we say this thing like this, look, this is the only thing which we changed. Let's try it again. Totally was so good. The C sharp, then like how much MAUI 3-4 years experienced developer can expect package in India. Assume like a decent developers. MAUI is garbage for building mobile apps. That is not the case. So Neko, maybe you had uh, bad encounter with Maui, but that is not the case. If you are good at C sharp, then you just need to learn XAML, nothing else, because the code behind everything, the C sharp concepts are same, and C sharp is a great language. So it depends if you are building some complex application. So yeah, let me ask you this. You said Maui is garbage for building mobile apps. What problem did you face? Was it the lack of resources? Was it the XAML UI building? Was it some performance related issues you were having, or the developer experience? What was the problem with you faced with Maui? Like how much Maui 3-4 years experienced developer can expect package in India? I can't say anything related to this. You can maybe go to the LinkedIn. You can talk to some folks who are working on .NET Maui in companies, because I'm not working .NET Maui in my career, in my day job actually. So this I do some freelancing, some side projects, and for YouTube and for fun. Maui having problems with slow performance and memory issues, no widgets, etc. So it depends, right? So widgets, if you wanted to do widgets, then widgets functionality, widgets, we can't create widgets with .NET Maui. Yeah, that is an issue. Memory issues, they are fixing a lot of memory leakage, and in all the versions we already with each and every version we have some performance optimizations, we have some fixing of these memory leakage issues. So it is getting better day by day. And when you say slow performance, can you tell me when did you face that slow performance? Because if you are saying you were building on Windows, you were targeting or you were testing on emulator, then these are totally different things. So the thing is, as I already mentioned, this application which I just created, this travel expense manager, I am actually trying to push it on Apple App Store and Google Play Store so that I have never done this publishing apps on the App Store and Play Store. So for this, I build these published versions and the final output. So if you do this here, you see the size of the application. It says 100 MB, 50 MB, 80 MB. But this is not the case when you actually create AAB file, that Android app bundle I created. It was of 31 MB, I guess. And then when I post it on the Google Play Store, and then when I downloaded it on a low end Android device, it was around 23 or 27 MB, and it runs very smooth. It is great actually. So it depends. And if you have the configuration in your system that is not up to the mark, then also you can see the performance issues. In debug mode, you are going to see performance related issues. In emulator, you are going to see performance related issues. So there are a lot of considerations when you say performance issues, slow performance, then it depends. Yeah, I can say if you have a big collection view with complex UI for each individual items, then there might be some issues. Collection view with a complex data template, it is not very great. It is good, but not that great actually. How much years of experience do you have? I have around, I've started, I have completed my college in 2012. I started from July 2012 in companies. So from then I have around 13, 14 years of experience in development. I started from web forms and Windows applications. Now having problems with slow performance, okay. Size, you can use AOT. Yes, but for this application which I am saying, I didn't use AOT explicitly. It I think it automatically does some AOT and assembly trimming. Maybe I'm not sure. I didn't see the logs and all the building process. I didn't read everything, but I think it does something. But if we are doing explicit AOT, then also it can maybe reduce the size more. But 20 MB, 25 MB, that is a good size. In that we have a lot of icons, a lot of images, we have multiple pages, we have SQLite database, so there are a lot of things. So 25 MB is a good size. Performance and memory issue, we can't able to say it is MAUI issue 100% because we need to handle the GC and event properly. Yes. Yeah, so we did this, right? Let's try if this was the issue. So if I try to go to some detail page, let's continue. And we have, yes, that was the issue. So maybe if we dig down into the output section more in debug output, maybe we could have find that out. But for me, it was quick because we just changed this thing, nothing else. Because it was working before, after adding these two things, it is not working. So that we can, in that case, we can say that something is not right with these things. And then here we can directly say, okay, this is not working. If you don't want to have these things, you can simply have a default values for this country and category, maybe just empty array like this. So this is also an option. Okay, so close it, open some other Y cloud. Okay, let's remove this breakpoint, continue. So you see, now you will say that this application is very application is slow, but this is not the case here because we are doing it in debugging mode, we are running it, and I don't have much resources on my system. So it depends on a lot of different things. If I publish this app, like even if I run this in non-debugging mode directly on my device, it would perform a lot better. And if we publish it, then it is going to work great actually. You can reduce memory using span, memory, memory pool, task, value task, Marshall, memory like stuff. There can be a lot of advanced stuff, but sometimes the premature optimization, it can unnecessary cost you a lot of time, money, and sometimes it is not, all of these are not required. Sometimes maybe if you can write good code, then you can maybe check if what is required. It depends on case to case, app to app, code to code, developer to developer, what you need to do. gc.collect, yes. I'm using AI too much in work as I am fresher, and in my organization I only one who is working on Maui, doing research and development stuff for Maui. What will advice you won't give me? So this is the problem, I think. So because you don't have much experience in Maui, and the AI tools have not much information related to .NET Maui either. So both of you are kind of freshers in .NET Maui. That's why you are facing a lot of issues. Because using AI, it makes sense for me because I have done a lot of Maui before AI. I have done a lot of C Sharp, ASP.NET Core. So using AI, it can make me productive. The thing which I was maybe creating in an hour, with the help of AI, I can maybe do that in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. So it is going to do this for me. So I can simply write down the prompt, or maybe I can give the detailed technical pointers to generate code, and then AI going to generate the code, and I can simply look through the code. I can review that and I can say, okay, everything is fine. I can simply copy that, paste it, and I can go through. If there is some minor change needs to be done, I can simply do that. For example, this thing, no AI can predict this thing. The thing which we did here. You can try if we simply remove this thing, and you can put whatever advanced AI you have. You can feed the entire code base, everything with that proper error. That error was not proper. You can feed this in Claude, DeepSeek, ChatGPT, anywhere, Gemini. You can try. No AI will be able to solve it. This you can solve if you have spent some time on code without AI. Then only you will know, okay, this might be the issue. GC collect -1 aggressive false. When switching from layout to layout, especially if resources are loaded on the append call, Maui is totally slow. Yes, if we have some, as I already mentioned, if let's say I am on page 1, I am going to page 2. For example, let's take an example of this particular app. Right now, if I simply tap on it, it goes to here. If on this page I have some collection view with some complex data template, then it is going to lag. That is a problem for sure. I have faced it, I have been facing it. It is getting a bit better, but not up to the market. So when I was working on an e-commerce application long back in .NET MAUI XAML, they at that time I started facing that issue, and then from there on it is getting better release by release, but not very good still. But the team is working on it. When switching from layout to, yeah, I mean the AI is good, but it will not help you to make the entire application. Yes, learn doc and watch some YT and try yourself. Yes, and I would say just create a very simple application, maybe just 2-page application. You can try to do application also, or simple note taking application. On the home page you are going to have the list of notes, okay, and then you are going to have a new page where you can simply go, tap on something, go to the next page. You can simply write note, save it, come back, it should load up here. Just this application. When you do something, because using this thing you can do almost everything from, so you will have maybe the tab bar, you will have floating button, you will have collection view, you will have passing from one page to another page. On there you are going to have an entry, you are going to have a button, you are going to have commands, events, and on the back page, the first page where you have the list of nodes, you can simply have pull to refresh. So all the major functionality you can have. After that, you can try to implement SQLite as well to store those nodes. Using this simple application, you will know a lot of basics of the .NET MAUI. Then you will get much more benefit by using AI, because when you know something, then they can simply help you out. If you will come to me, let's say you don't have any experience in JavaScript, okay, and I'm going to give you directly something related to Java, so you are not going to grab it. Okay, if you have experience in some front end framework, if I am going to give you some information or some learnings on other front end framework, then it will be easy for you to grab, because you already know the basics, how things work. I think it's better to learn Dart and Flutter than Maui. Okay, so if he is already working on C Sharp, he is already working on Maui, he will be using, let's say, .NET Core API. He will be working some web stuff as well using maybe Blazor or MVC or Web API. Then learning Dart and Flutter, is it a good idea? No, right? And I think it's better. Okay, really informative information. Learn Flutter to earn money. Yeah, if that is the case, then only. Then the React ecosystem, the React Native, that is the, and if you just want to earn money, then go with the native, because the native apps with Swift UI, UI Kit, or maybe this side Android, Kotlin, Java, these are the things which make most money. After that, you can go to React Native, then you can go to Flutter, then you can maybe I'm not sure if Ionic and all these the web hybrid frameworks are they offering much more money. I have no idea, but that is also an option. So it totally depends. You can't always say that just leave Maui and go with the Flutter. Let's say I've been doing web and backend and Windows Form and all these stuff for last decade. Now I want to do mobile development. So should I go with the, let's say, React Native, or should I go with Flutter and Dart? No, because grabbing the Maui, this is the best choice for me. I have been doing C sharp for 10-15 years. Now, with when I'll come to Maui, I just need to learn fundamentals of mobile application development and some XAML stuff. Because the C sharp knowledge, everything is going to be completely going to be replicated here, the duplicated here. I can simply translate everything directly to the Maui application. So that is the best option for me. So you can't say that just go and learn Flutter. That is not the case. So it depends person to person, situation to situation, industry to industry, on a lot of different factors. If you are starting out, you have, let's say, worked on 2 months, 3 months into the .NET MAUI development, you are right after the college, you are fresher, then it's okay, and it's good. If you want to make more money, just go with the Flutter or React Native, then this is the best option for you. Then going with .NET MAUI, this is not a good option for you. So it totally depends. Hello, my good friend. Hello, Ronald. The customer demands that application works quickly and that there are no problems with it. No one asks you in which language you created it. Now you are answering your own questions, right? The customers, they just want the functionality to be working with a good user experience. That's all they care. No, he's saying if you already know C sharp, then they have frameworks for it. Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. Our Prince teacher, let's make a OS for fun. Okay, so where were we? We were here. We have this thing. Yeah, I was saying that using AI. So AI is not going to fix this thing for us. So for this, we need to have some basic understanding, more than basic actually, the basic fundamentals and all these things. Then only we can go to the AI to help us out, to make us more productive, right? To help us to, let's say, finish the 10 hours work in, let's say, 6 hours, 7 hours, 5 hours. All right, so here we are, we have this detail page as well. What next? We wanted to, what is the next we wanted to do? Do you remember, you guys joined my last live stream? What else we wanted to do? People get confused about why people use the stack they use. Yes, it may be better, but if they already know something, you leverage it. Yes, exactly. So if you see in that case, on the internet, on the GitHub repos, all the articles, blogs, YouTube videos, you will see React and Next everywhere. But that does not mean we don't have Vue, we don't have Angular, we don't have any other technology, right? But we have a lot of different technologies: .NET, Java. Then for front end also we have vanilla JavaScript, we have Svelte, we have Quick, we have Preact, we have Vue, we have Angular, we have a lot of different things. The Google, YouTube, AI, ask help in Git. This is good approach. Documents, Google, YouTube, AI, ask help in Git. Ask help in Git. Oh, you mean GitHub issues? Yes, yes, yes. This is the good way of doing things. If you have some issue, check the docs, go to the Google, check YouTube, then AI. Yeah, AI can help you out. If you already know something, then it is great. Yeah, so yeah, in this app, what else we wanted to add in this? Look, this is fine. This is not a very good looking app, but it does the things. We have a lot of different functionality, right? Have you taught authentication in .NET MAUI, or what sort of authentication? Because for Blazor, I already have a couple of videos. For .NET Core APIs, we already implement JWT authentication in almost all our API related projects where we have full stack application. For .NET MAUI, I have multiple login flow related stuff. Nowadays, many devs, if bug state AI and copy paste and R&D skill will low. Yes, yes, they simply copy paste. They don't even care to read what is there, what is written there in the bug. They simply, there is some error, just blindly copy, paste it. AI is going to give you something, just copy that, paste it here, run it, again error, copy, paste. People just keep on doing this. And this is the problem with freshers and then early career developers. Yes, Maui. Yeah, for simple login flow we have, but I tried to implement the login with Maui, but login with Google, sign in with Google, but that I tried. I spent more than a week, but I was not able to figure that out. So I'm going to try that again. I am going to be a bit busy this week. I'm not going to do anything for this week. Then after this week, maybe I will going to try that again. For dev, R&D skill is must. Yes, and for that, the basic requirement is to basic understanding of the framework or language, just general programming. Everyone nowadays vibe coding low. Could you explain DI and interface? DI and interface. These are totally two different things. DI, dependency injection or dependency inversion. This is simply an inversion of control when the implementation, it does not care how am I going to get the dependencies which I need to work properly. So for example, in this case, let's say I am going to this news details view model. From here, not this one. Let's get to the previous page, the main page view model. Here on this page, I want to make an API call to get some data. Now, in order to make that call, I have a dependency. This main page view model, it has a dependency on this iNews API. Okay. So this class, this main page view model, it wants to make an API call which has a dependency of iNews API. So now what we say, if I have dependency on this, I don't care how am I going to do this, whoever want me to do this thing. So in this case, our application, our main page or our app shell, it wants to tell main page view model to get the data from some API. So it's the responsibility of the caller to provide that dependency. Okay. So let's say I have a kid, I want him to get something from the market. Let's say get some grocery, and if he is not that big, he is not earning right now, he's not working, so I can say that go to the market and get some groceries for me. So in order to buy the groceries, he need money, right? He needs money. So now I want him to go to the market, grab some groceries. In order to grab the groceries, buy the groceries, he needs money. Now I am the one who wants him to do something, so I should be the one who will be providing whatever is required to complete that task. So the dependency, the money dependency, I'm going to provide him. So that is dependency inversion. If he want to do something, he has a dependency, he does not care, he just, whoever is asking him to do it, it's his responsibility that provide that dependency to him. Now, the way we do this dependency inversion, there are multiple approaches. The most commonly used is constructor injection, which we mostly use. We inject the dependency in constructor. There is method injection as well. There is direct inject property injection as well. In Blazor, we can do inject on the properties. We can have other stuff as well. We can use the different design patterns as well if you want to. You can. So the main thing is whenever we are creating instance of this, we are wanting it to do something, whatever dependency it requires, we need to provide it. That's all dependency inversion. I have been working with Dart for around 1 year, and it's good if you only work with development of mobile. But if you have to code backend in other language, it is frustrating. Yeah, yes, that is also a very good point, a plus point with MAUI, because you will have some backend framework as well, right? Because in most 99.9% apps, I guess some, if not more than 90% apps, we are going to have some backend layer. Now, if you are doing Flutter, then you will write your UI in Flutter and Dart. But what about the backend? You will need some other guy experienced in that backend language. That can be TypeScript, JavaScript, Java, Go, Rust, .NET, whatever server-side technology. Maybe this was the main reason for React-based, the JavaScript-based frameworks after coming the Node.js came. So now JavaScript can run from server, on client, browser, mobile devices, everywhere. So that's why maybe that Munch stack is popular, React Native is popular. I don't know why, but I am really enjoying your conversation with other experienced devs in chat. It's frustrating that you can't reuse many code. For this, I came back into Maui and all okay. Yeah, backend C Sharp is love. Yes. ASP.NET Core. I guess this is the best framework. .NET ecosystem is so cool. You said the caller provides the dependency. Yes, the caller provides the dependency. When we say caller, that means whoever is using it. In this case, when we say caller, the if we are doing so, there are these multiple things. We are using this is constructor injection. When we are registering these in MAUI program, where is it? This is we are using a dependency registration container, dependency container using this thing. But there can be different multiple approaches how we are doing this. So for example, let's say if we go to the app shell, not app shell, if we go to the app.xaml.cs, here we are creating instance of app shell. Return new window, new app shell. So let's say I had some dependency here. Let's say I want to I have this tab bar dynamic here. I want to have different tab bars for different roles of users. Okay, or maybe when I'm opening the app for the first time, I want to show 3 tab bar items. After that, I want to show 4 tab bar items, or whatever thing I want to do here. Maybe I want to have the shell content like this only, but for control template I'm going to use some dynamic method approach. So here we have multiple, we are not limited to directly specifying this. We can have it also dynamic, lazy loaded. We can have our own logic with this control template. So if we want to do that, let's say on this tab bar I have some name. So let's say tab bar. Then what I can do is I can simply go to the app shell.xaml.cs. Here maybe inside this constructor, or we can override some other method here. There are a lot of methods which we can do. Let's say on appearing, whenever we are opening it for the first time, at that time here we want to do something. We have the tab bar. We can access the tab bar property here. On this we can set a lot of different things. We can set event handlers, we can modify the items, we can clear the tab bar, we can do a lot of different things. But maybe let's say I had some dependency. Let's say I want to use database, or maybe I want to have different set of tab bar items for different users. Now this can be or different user roles. Maybe for this one, maybe we can get the info from DB. We can get the info from some API. So now if we want to do this thing here, we will have a dependency on database, or we will have a dependency on API. Let's say I have a dependency right now. I only have this one iNews API only. I don't have anything else. But let's take an example. I have this dependency and I want to get some user related information from this news API. So if I do this news API dot call anything, for now just skip it. If you want to do this, now you have a dependency of iNews API on this app shell. So app shell needs iNews API to function properly. Now if I'm going to run it, it is going to give us compile time error, and that will be here. Here it says we have an error. You are saying that app shell requires iNews API, but you didn't provide it. So here we need to provide an implementation of that iNews API. Somehow it could be the direct object creation here. It could be again injected dependency here. So using this, then we are going to provide this iNews API from here. So because we were creating the instance of app shell, it's our responsibility to provide the instance of iNews API, because that is the dependency on app shell. It needs this iNews API. So here we are the caller. This create window, new window, this is the caller. So it's this code's responsibility to provide the dependency. In this case, what happens, the right now what we are doing this on this view models and all, we are allowing framework to do all these things for us. So that's why we do that in our MAUI program. We set all these builder or service.add transient, singleton, all these things. So now here we are saying that I am registering it, I am allowing it to get some dependency or uh, pass as a dependency. We can pass this type as a dependency to some other type, or we can receive dependencies in this type. So that means now the object creation is going to be handled by this builder.service, the dependency container. So it will check if this type, when it is going to try it, creating the instance of this, it will check if it is requires something. Yes, what is it? Do I have that instance of that? If yes, then I'm going to provide it. So it is now its responsibility. So this is how these things work. You said caller provides the dependency. Yes. Hi, hi, Sai. C sharp, Kotlin, C, C++. I am watching your login flow video for directly navigating to the dashboard. I removed the login page from shell navigation for solving that issue of 1 to sec page display, which is first in shell. Okay, but yeah, it depends. If you have the first item as a login page there and you want to show that, then you need to have that. You will come to the login page and then you can move to the next page, skipping the login using the code behind or view model, means from C using the C sharp code. That cannot be done directly using the XAML only. Hello, what CPU model and RAM amount do you use for MAUI? Uh, I written something somewhere. I have 16 GB of RAM. System information, or how we can check that? About my PC or something like that? About your PC. So I have 16 GB RAM. So this is not very good, but works for me. And my laptop is also, I think, 3-4 years old. It works great. Not very great, but works for me. So I am happy with it. And what else did you ask? What CPU model and RAM? So I have this AMD Ryzen 7 5825U 2.0 gigahertz. RAM is 16 GB. In emulator, I am using 2 core with 2 gigahertz and 4 GB RAM. Hi sir, we are fresher and in our company we just collaborate with senior developer for task. So I need what? Where am I? So I need to take time to understand their code. Is there any approach for easily code maintainability? We collaborate with senior developers for tasks. So I need to take time to understand their code. Is there any approach for easily code maintainability? What do you mean code maintainability? You are as a fresher. Senior is going to give you a task. So you are saying that that is some maintenance or some changes in existing code base. We need to first check the code. So this is the basic flow. You need to do that. There is no any other way. If you are doing some changes in some existing code, you need to at least have some basic idea about what that code looks like, what it does and all. So you need to review that code, and it is going to give you a lot of uh, information knowledge as well when you see the seniors code, because when you are a fresher and you watch, maybe you read some articles, blogs, or you learn something from some teacher. It could be some YouTube video, it could be some offline teaching. So what do you do in that case? There is only one teacher who is teaching you. So the way of thinking, the way of explaining, the way of coding, it varies person to person. The way I think something, I approach something, for the same thing you might have some different thought process, some different way of approaching that particular task. So when you watch videos from some content creator, some creator, or some course creator, or you do some offline course, you actually start thinking from the point of view of that trainer or instructor. But when you go to the industry and you see the code, there might be multiple people written that code on different levels of experience, on different times, you will see, okay, that thing, this particular thing can be done using this approach as well. So we had to do this, and some person, some developer took a different route to do this. Then your brain actually opens up. So it is a good thing to review code, and you can review, and you should ask questions. If you have some supportive the seniors, then it is very good. If you can talk to the seniors and they are helpful, then you are going to get a lot of different things. I see a lot of offline course creators, offline training institutes mostly, they have teachers. Those are not industry professionals. So the way we learn uh, learn code and the computer science in our college, that is totally different. Then when we go to some offline coding institute or some YouTube course creators who are the teachers only, those who have not worked in the actual industry, they have a different mindset, different way of teaching and approaching the things. And then you will have the third kind, which is the best, the people who are actually working in the industry, the people who are actually writing the code. So sometimes when they are teaching something, they don't know everything. For example, this thing which we just did, no one is going to teach you this thing, because thing cannot be taught. This thing cannot be taught. So we just need to do these things. We come here, we see this, our brain thought in that direction, then we fix that. Okay. So could you show us an example of a different view depending on user? Different, what do you mean by different view depending on user? You mean the thing which I was mentioning, that tab bar icons? This is the thing you are saying? By curiosity, why you still register your pages into DI in .NET 9 right now isn't necessary. What do you mean by it is not necessary? If you want to inject the view model in the code behind, then you need to register it. If you want your class to be injected somewhere in some other class, you need to register that class. So you need to register both of the classes. If some class needs something, or that class can be passed as a dependency to some other class, we need to register both of these things. So I know maybe what you are saying. If you are doing this thing, let's say if I go to the main page.xaml.cs, here I am injecting this main page view model in the main page. So now I need to register both main page and main page view model both into the dependency container. This has not changed in .NET 9. Right now isn't necessary. Yes, what you are talking about in this app shell, but I am only talking about the pages. No, what do you mean? You are saying that I don't need to do this. Why? The only thing, or the only uh the when you don't need this, that the only case is if you are registering or you are using this main page view model directly from the XAML. So here also you can set the binding context, something like this: content page dot binding context. If you are doing this, then you don't need to register that. But the problem with this approach is it needs, if it needs dependencies. .NET Net MAUI in .NET already registers each page. Is this correct? I have no idea if this is the case. I have no idea if this is the case. I need to check, or we can check it right away. Let's first fix this thing. If this is something, this is totally new to me. I don't know about this. Uh, Ronald, just what you were talking about in the app shell. Okay, so this thing, Ronald, for this dynamic tab bar icons, for this I already have a video on my channel. If you go, you need to actually search for that video. That is dynamic icons, dynamic tab bar icon, something like that. Let me find that. Default this. No, was it before this? So that means there are a lot of people who are here in my subscription list on my YouTube. They did not watch the previous videos. I have a lot of videos for all these cases. Role based authorization in Blazor, different icons for selected and unselected tabs. So this is also an option here. We have, if we select some tab, so we want to show some different icon. If the tab is not selected, we want to show some different icon. Dynamic tab bar items. So this is the video how to make dynamic tab bar items .NET MAUI shell apps. So here I showed you how can we create the dynamic tab bar items. So you can see, watch this video. Okay, then you see, but I'm only talking about the pages. .NET MAUI already registered each page. Yeah, let's try that if it does this, because I have no idea if this is there. And I have a doubt if this is going to be the case, because then comes the life cycle, lifetime related stuff, not life cycle. If the .NET 9 is automatically registering each page, what is the lifetime it is using? Is it registering all that scope, or how? Because that is not the case. We don't always want scoped or singleton. It depends on our requirement. Maybe I want something to be transient only, just use it, and when that is not in use, let's get rid of that. Okay, thanks. Okay, so yeah, we were saying let's go to the main page view model. This is not main page view model. Let's go to the Maui program, and let's not have this main page as a dependency here. Okay, let's try the app out. Let me first unlock it. I think no need to unlock it. Will throw error here only if it is not working. Let's see. Manoj Pant, you wrote something and then you removed that. Where are you from? From India. Do you want to know the city? Hemendra, you are also from India, right? Yeah, you asked about that salary and all, right? Okay, app is coming. And it is here. Yeah, it is great actually. Ruben, you are right. I didn't know about this. Cool. This is new to me. That means we don't need this as either. Thank you. Thank you, Ruben. So you saw it on some docs or some release notes, or where did you get this information from? Give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. And app is here. Let's try the detail page. And it works. Great. Thank you. Okay, sorry. So it's actually very late. I didn't see the time. It is 11:45 p.m. So my wife, she is calling. Okay, so I guess. Okay, thanks, Manoj Pant. Where are you from? Sir, you missed my previous chat. What did I miss, Hemendra? I am from. What is this? Red Eye Developers. I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand this. Hmm, what is this? Am I dumb? Can you do a mentor session next week? I'm sorry, Ronald. Next week I am traveling. So I'll update top mate. I'll block the date. So next week I can't do that. So I'll be back by next Tuesday. Yes, I am from India also. Can you please make this dynamic navbar application in Blazor web app also, in which we can provide page content also? What do you mean by Blazor web app also, in which we can provide page content also? Dynamic navbar. Navbar means the top section. So you can use a section outlet and section content. Section outlet, you will have that on the layout, and then in your pages, you are going to have the section content. The name should be same or ID should be same for both section content and section outlet. Ruben Goins, thank you. Why do we not need to register those view models? We need to register view models. We don't need to register pages. Okay. Hemendra, I am from Delhi, India. Oh, you are from Delhi? Red Eye Developers, Delhi. You are from Delhi? Red Eye Developers. Manoj Pant, you are from Delhi. I am your neighbor. Manoj, I am from Ghaziabad, UP. Ronald, we don't gain any performance. Performance. What do you mean by performance? In what context? For the page registration or what? Came in the fresh air. Dude, any missile came from Pakistan? What do you mean? Red Eye developer Saha, I'm doing job in Delhi, but I am from Uttarakhand. Okay. I need a session next week. I'm sorry, I won't be available next week. Red Eye developer. Okay, cool. Nope, I am from Delhi. Hmm. Thanks, I am from Mumbai. By not registering pages. Uh, I don't think there is any performance related gains in this, but by not registering pages, maybe they are just making us write less code. That's all. Like if you have time, you can scroll down a little bit. I asked a small question. If I don't know what I need to read all the chats, you can maybe add that question again here. If that would be easier, right? Because there are a lot of questions, the lot of messages. So if you can write down your question again, Hemendra, I can say it right away. Let's push this thing again. So we'll see what next we need to do in this application. Hmm. Hemendra, I'm waiting for your question. Then we'll wrap up this stream. And I'm going to drop a community poll for this live stream. I already asked in previous stream, but No one left any comment for that. So I just want to know if we should do these live streams regularly on Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturdays, just Sundays, or twice a week, something like that. Okay, if we have four tabs at the bottom, can they have their different navigation stack? Yes, they can have their different navigation stacks. So the only thing is the way the navigation stack and all these works in .NET MAUI, the way you are navigating from one page to another. Yes, I love live stream. Yeah, I also love this. So the way Hemendra, what you need to do in that case, the root level pages, the tabs, those things you are going to have on app shell directly, like this. Then for the navigation stacks for each tab from this page, let's say I'm on the main page, so I'm using view model, so I'll go to the main page view model, main page view model, where is this? Is here. So the way I am using navigation on this page, that will define our navigation stack. So when we do this shell.current.goToString and go to async, the direct page name without any slash or anything, then this is actually adding this page as a navigation page on this navigation stack on top of the main page. So this is how these things work. So on that page, on news detail page, if you use the similarly shell.current.goToAsync with the similar some other page, page 2, then it will have the next page on the stack. When you say go back, press back button or swipe or the back button, then it will simply remove that, pop that page out, then this page, then you'll come back to this page. So this is the way by which the navigation stacks work here. And where is the chat? Yes, I love have different content views. So you can register different content pages. You can have different views here. So I would recommend you to check this page out. If that is not suffice, if you want to have the tab is same. When I say tab, that means the tab title, the tab icon, those things are same, and you want to have the dynamic content for that page, that also we can do. Lots of learning from this live stream. Thank you. मुझे जस्ट फ्यू डेज एगो आपका चैनल सजेस्ट हुआ. हाँ, पता नहीं भाई क्यों सजेस्ट नहीं होता है, या बहुत बहुत ही कम लोगों के पास है. सो अगर मतलब अगर तुम शेयर कर सको तो भाई बहुत हेल्प हो जाएगी, ज़्यादा लोगों तक पहुंच जाए चैनल में भी. Okay, so Hemendra. Okay, so I think that's all for this. Do you have a video on MVVM pattern? All of my projects use MVVM pattern. All. I don't have some video specifically for MVVM pattern, because, but all the projects use MVVM. So you can try any of the .NET MAUI project. All these are using MVVM. You can have binding context in DIN. What is DIN? Dependency injection, binding context in dependency injection. What do you mean? Okay, my wife is calling again. So yeah, it's almost 12 now. So it's better to go to the bed. All right. So I guess that's all for this video. We'll connect soon. Till then, application.quit. Yes. All right. So thank you. Bye bye. How can we make tab bar which horizontally scroll like WhatsApp? What do you mean? Tab horizontally scrolls on WhatsApp? Tab? I don't see the tab bar scrolls. Oh, you mean top tab scroll? Okay, for that, you can have tabs inside tab. So when you have nested tabs, those are rendered as the top tab bar inside a bottom tab bar. So you can try that. Okay, so that's all for this stream. Thank you for joining. Bye bye. Happy coding. We'll connect soon.